Hi there, it's Paul from MyoLife and Stretching Canada, talking again about active isolated stretching. Now, the last set of videos we did, we talked about how to affect positive change in low back issues through stretching glutes and specifically the piriformis. Today we can continue with the same idea of how to affect positive change in low back issues by addressing tension or hypertension in the psoas and in the iliacus. Usually we hear about the iliacus2, and it's exactly what it is. But in order to affect real change, we need to separate and isolate psoas from iliacus. Traditionally, we get into a position or a posture similar to this, where we're lunging down and feeling the stretch in here. And for sure, right now I'm feeling a lot of sensory-rich tension in the tendons and the muscles of the psoas and some of the flexors, because once I'm past this center of gravity, I'm actually falling forward, and part of the stopping of the falling forward happens with this leg, but the stabilizing is happening with this leg. If this muscle is working, it's contracting. If it's contracting, it's not going to release into a stretch. In order to allow that stretch and release to happen, we need to eliminate it from the equation simply by kneeling on it. Now it's not being used to hold me up, this muscle. What I want to do is I want to get my pelvic girdle dropping toward the floor, because this isn't going to move. So I'm going to get the pelvis to drop toward the floor by contracting the gluteal muscles in the back and pushing me down. Now what I'm going to try and avoid is any kind of a rotation, because then that becomes an adductor, an adductor stretch. And I want to avoid having my knee pass over the distance of my ankle, because that will be another stretch, and it'll also induce a rotation of the hips. So I want my unexercised foot to be well ahead of the knee. I want my stretching hip, my stretching ASIS, to be pulling forward, almost leading forward. And sometimes I balance myself on a table or a ball or my massage table. You can do it on the side of your bed. And so now that I'm square to the direction, I'm facing straight into the direction I want to go, I'm going to contract here. I can actually put my hand on it and feel that contraction. And as I contract here, it's going to send a message to release here. Breathe in and reach, get to end field, and then reach down and almost push down with this hand. 1 and 2. Full breath in as I come back and recuperate, accept that new oxygenated blood, and 1 and 2. And if you're so inclined and you're stable enough, you can actually reach across to the opposite side and get a bit more of a stretch in that psoas. So here we've got that vertical line of the psoas stretch. Now, for me to get into the vertical fibers, the diagonal fibers of the iliacus, I need to bring this exercise leg toward and even across the midline of the body behind this heel and underneath this knee. And the best way to do that is sort of lift up, bring that knee behind the heel and under the knee, and then make sure that that this ankle is behind the knee, so that I'm not putting any undue stress on the ACL or the MCL of the exercised knee. So again, unexercised leg is well ahead of the foot is well ahead of the knee, and I'm looking straight ahead. Body is up and down, erect, and I'm just dropping my hips, pelvic girdle, straight into the floor. But because I have this angle on my leg, I'm going to be affecting the fibers more of the iliac behind the ASIS as it goes up into the iliac crest. So starting from this position, straight down, 1, 2, and I can really feel that I haven't stretched this iliacus for a while, and 1, 2. So if we have somebody that's sort of pulled in, or they're pigeon-toed, or you're feeling drawn into the middle, and that can really affect negatively in the back, this is an excellent stretch that you can do by yourself if you have the stability in your back and you're not in great pain. And you can do this by yourself, psoas and then iliacus. If you want to learn more about the stretching and how to stretch from head to toe in its entirety, all 170 stretches, visit the stretchingcanada.com website and go to the teaching schedule, and it'll give you a list of all the seminars 3-day and 2-day seminars that are happening across the country. Paul Elliott from MyoLife and Stretching Canada, the authority on active isolated stretching here in Canada. Take care, enjoy your stretches.